Hey guys, how's it going? Chris, Alamo, Alaimo here with Dave Jaeger again. We're back for episode 5 now.
And I am all smiles.
We are here for another episode. We're doing soccer again, as you can tell by the jerseys. I love the jersey, by the way, the throwback.
Thank you, the throwback.
The Vodafone jersey.
I think I mentioned it last episode.
Yeah,
but I have the red one too.
Yeah, it's good.
Yes.
So when you come back, we just got to keep buying new jerseys. I think this is better for our clubs that we need to keep buying per episode. I don't know if my
bank could support them. They're expensive.
They are quite expensive.
I was looking at getting a Shaw jersey, the new pink ones. They want $100 for it.
Really?
That's discounted too.
That's not from Thailand, dog?
No. No, it's not from Thailand. It's that authentic. You can actually tell that, like, after buying a real one and then a fake one, you could really tell the difference.
Yes, you definitely can.
I mean, if you're just wearing it, I feel like no one can really tell the difference. But I don't know, it's a nice material. I like it. So yeah. I think I've made the switch.
Sounds good.
Made the switch to a real, authentic jersey. I can afford it.
Sounds good. All right, so I guess we'll get right into it. So we've had a crazy week of soccer. We're going to start, I guess, back at the weekend for all the Premier League games, and then we will get to the really exciting Champions League games that happened during the week. So I guess we'll start off with United against Southampton and the crazy comeback, or I guess beating them in the dying minutes of the game.
So I'm going to talk about both games while it's on the top of my head. I think the way Ole's taken over the club and gave us our composure back towards the end is really paying out. I think with Jose, you saw Fellaini come in towards the 80th minute, hoof it up over the top, and then go for the long ball. But I think we're finally back to keeping composure, Fergie time, and then staying with it because we won in the last couple of minutes in Southampton, and then we won the last minutes in PSG. So I think, I don't know, the United Southampton game was incredible.
Yes.
The goals, who scored the Southampton goal?
Lukaku.
No, on Southampton, the first goal.
Oh.
It was their right back. He's a super young kid.
Oh, I forget who it is.
And I don't know, that thing must have been coming with pace. If De Gea couldn't
he beat him top corner. I don't think any goalie would have beaten him.
And he got a hand to it, but it just went right past him, deflected in.
It's like Yan something. Yan.
I think he's French, maybe.
YN. I forget. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, their young right back who's 20 or 19.
And then Pereira.
Pereira's goal was
that had to been 23 yards out, over the top. Awesome goal.
Yeah.
And then Lukaku, my boy, coming back in.
Back in form.
There was an interview with him after the PSG game when they were asking him about Rashford and Lukaku up top, and they're like, how do you like playing up top with Rashford? I know you're typically a solo striker. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I love it. We're dynamic up top. And I don't know. I think they play well off each other. So I think if we had Ole in the beginning of the season, I think we'd be a real contender for
the title, maybe?
For the title. I think next year, which if we give him Ole the contract, which I think we absolutely should, I think we'll challenge.
I heard they were planning, they're talking right now, and I heard today's Thursday. They said it was going to come out today, whether they were going to give him the job or not. But they
have to.
But yeah, at this point, there's no reason not to. He's won 14 in the last 17. He's drawn 2, and the one loss he had to PSG doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you count that now? I think...
I mean, it counts as a loss.
Technically, but since we defied all odds and won, I'd say his away record is just fucking incredible.
I guess, so we'll just segue right into it. So Southampton was awesome. You guys were down 1-0, tied it up, and then you scored another one, so it was 2-1. Southampton ties it up 2-2, and then in the 88th or 89th, Lukaku scores an awesome turn to win the game there.
That was exactly what he did against Crystal Palace, where... Do you see how much whippage that ball had?
Yeah.
That angle was incredible. I mean, it slotted at bottom right-hand corner, and I don't know, I think it all comes down to the tactics that Ole's using of keeping calm and just playing the game instead of going to the desperate ball.
Oh yeah.
Which Jose was doing. And I don't know, it's crazy when Jose, the first half of the season was so grim, and then I think everybody was saying you need a miracle to get top 4. Mm-hmm. And then how many games are left? We're on
We're going into match day 30, so
like 9 games left, and we're 4th right now.
Yeah.
possibly with Spurs dropping points.
Yeah, we have to play Liverpool and Man City, so
You have a really tough schedule. So I think if Tottenham drop points, we slot into third, and then I don't know. I want to say that we're going to beat Arsenal this coming week.
Oh, you guys have Arsenal this week? We need you guys to do
And
a huge
we
favor.
need to win if we want to. I think if we win this game, we get top 4, and then I don't know. With Spurs, I think they're going to have a rocky road, especially if you're going against top 2.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think we need to give Ole the contract now. Like, I'm a full supporter of him. I was on Reddit and they were saying, what's it called? I don't know what they were saying, but there was a thread saying, like, I started watching after Sir Alex retired, and that's when I really started watching. I caught Sir Alex Ferguson's last season
with RVP,
with Van Persie, or was it the year before? I think
probably the year before.
NBC
bought the rights 2 years before he retired.
Okay, so it was the first season of RVP is when I started watching, and those were like good years. They weren't great because we won the title that year, but didn't the next year. But whatever. I mean, you know, the glory years of United where they just kept on winning. I mean, those were good times. I feel like when I started was very, very rough.
Yeah,
like we went from LV
instead of on a peak, you're in a valley.
Really,
in terms of the club.
I mean, I've stuck it out through Moyes to LVG to Jose. So I think with Ole, I'm excited for the future.
Yeah.
Especially since he's bringing so many youth players.
Yeah.
I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
You see it at Tottenham with Winks.
Yeah.
So he was homegrown, right?
Yep, homegrown. Been at the club his entire career. We even have Oliver Skip. He's looking all right, too.
Skip. If that's not the most British name I've ever heard.
Oliver Skip.
But yeah, Greenwood just got to start.
To
Heath Chong.
To Heath Chong. I always mess up his name.
And Garner.
He Mason Greenwood.
Yeah, Greenwood. So, I don't know. I'm excited about the future and see who we can attract this summer.
I mean, I guess we'll just go into it. That comeback on PSG was nuts. PSG are turning out to be the kings of flopping in the Champions League.
And bottling it. I'm so happy. So you were texting me throughout that game, and I was working. But I scheduled a meeting, and it said busy, so I could.
When you mark off your calendar to watch Champions League,
it said busy, so no one would.
Working my ass off.
Yeah, I was really working hard, putting in a good shift, and I couldn't text you back because I was like, after Lukaku scored I was feeling really hopeful at the start of the game. You know,
and he scores in the third minute.
He saw it in the second minute off a mistake, and then that's when I was really just like, oh, this could be a comeback. And then the game went on, and then the third goal, or the PK, got reversed for VAR. So
for who? That was against?
Or they didn't call it, and then VAR came up, and then United got the PK in the dying minutes. And, dude, I screamed so loud. My neighbor probably thought someone was getting murdered because I was screaming, and I had to put like a pillow over my face because I was so excited. And we win. I think it's a penalty. I think that was 100% a penalty.
Oh, I looking at it in slow-mo multiple times, I think it was a penalty. Neymar's comments were kind of just like saying the ball was going over and his hand wasn't thrown in place. Looking at the video, he kind of knew that he threw his hand back.
He looked at it and kind of like glanced over and stuck his arm out. And then I was watching, I think it was Rio Ferdinand who was mentioning, like, when you jump, you don't jump like this because that's just not
natural.
You're not like a fish jumping out of water. You actually have to move your arms a little bit for balance. But I don't know. I think it was a mixture of things, and I think VAR played out well.
Yeah.
Is it like the good old-fashioned days? Like, no, but I don't know. I feel like just in sports in general, with all like the technology, it was a matter of time. So for now, I like VAR. I'm sure like in the future it's gonna backfire against United, but
I mean, they always say calls always balance. I wouldn't say that's always true because sometimes you get unlucky, sometimes you're lucky. But I guess with VAR, it's always making the right call. So the balance of unlucky versus lucky, it's just making the right call in the end of the day.
It goes the same with like, okay, we got the pen, which is great, but then a couple of years ago, if someone was super offsides and they didn't call it, it's kind of the same.
Oh yeah, I distinctly remember Chelsea's ghost goal. Juan Mata like shot, and it was like the ref was blocked by a bunch of players in the box, and the goalie like dove on it. It like fell under him, and the whole Chelsea team started celebrating back when he was on Chelsea, and they counted it. And this is like going back 7 years ago. And so Chelsea celebrated, and the ref called it just as a goal. But if they had the camera angles, it was like a good foot in front. It wasn't even over the line. Yeah. It was like it just got caught underneath the goalkeeper, and he thought he like pulled it out from inside the net. So yeah, I guess it'll fix things.
I like it. When are they thinking about bringing that to
next
Premier
year?
League?
Yeah, 2019, 2020. So yeah, this season.
It's just how the game will evolve.
Yeah,
I don't think there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah. So. So I guess now we're moving on. North London derby. Exciting, nerve-wracking, good, bad. I don't know. I guess
you did us a massive favor.
We did ourselves a massive favor. I mean, how do I put it? Would I have liked to win? Absolutely. Did we deserve to win? No. Did we get lucky by salvaging a point? Absolutely. So this game, there's a lot of components. So the beginning of it was we completely messed up on Davinson Sanchez. I love him, hate him as a player. He's very young. I get that. Young center back. He was our record signing. I think we paid $37 million for him. He's definitely a lot of promise. He's quick, good at slide tackling. The problem with him that I have with him is that he makes a lot of mistakes. So we had a corner, we go, it gets cleared out, and as the ball's coming out, he goes to head it, completely misses, and he's the last defender, like, on the 50-yard line, or a little bit past the 50-yard line, and I think Lacazette or Aubameyang, I forget who it was Lacazette, receives the ball, and then Aaron Ramsey's just waiting on the 50, and just sends him in, because there's no one else there, and then Aaron Ramsey just is basically one-on-one against Lloris, and nothing Lloris really could do. Wanyama was like 6 feet, 8 feet, 10 feet behind, basically, trying to catch up, and there was no way he was going to catch him. So he just puts it in. And then we're now moving on. We did not play we defended well the rest of the first half. Second half starts, and then early in the second half, that's when it was kind of another controversial call. I don't know how VAR would say this. So we had a free kick maybe like 30 yards out, 35 yards out. Eriksson sends the ball in, and when this is happening, Kane is fouled. But Kane was offsides. So it's a little confusing. So Kane was offsides when the ball was played. But it's hard to say that the ball would have went to Kane because Lamella or someone else was behind him that like, oh yeah, Kane was going for it. But who's to say like, oh, the trajectory of the ball would have hit Kane. But he was fouled before the ball even got there. So it's kind of one of those things that, you know, like, oh, a player's offsides, but as long as it's played and he doesn't touch it, it's fine. The ref won't call it. And like, because Kane could have stopped and like let someone else go and kick it, but it looked like he was going for the ball, but he was fouled by Mustafi, and then we rewarded the PK. And a lot of Arsenal people were like saying like, oh, shouldn't have been a PK, blah 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 blah. And I agree. If Kane had touched it, or if Kane had touched it and then he was thrown down, it would have been offsides, wouldn't have counted.
It's a little light, I think.
Yeah, no, but I honestly think it was a PK, and my reasoning is Kane was thrown down by Mustafi.
He was sandwiched, right?
What?
He was essentially sandwiched.
He was essentially sandwiched, but then Mustafi kind of just like pushed him down. Yeah. Ref saw it, called it a PK because he was fouled before the offsides occurred. Yeah, if it got to him before being fouled, it would have been offsides and it would have counted. But were we lucky? Absolutely. Do I think it was a PK? Yes.
Did you see when Aubameyang took the PK, how offsides Vertonghen was?
Yeah, so that is actually getting to my next point. So then it's tied 1-1. We're getting through the game. We're having shots. Arsenal's having shots. It's kind of very much back and forth. So then Aubameyang goes down, and I don't think this is a PK. I honestly thought it was a dive. And I know that this year they've tried retroactively penalizing people. I think Dele Alli's been fined for one. A couple people that, you know, they can retroactively go back, and if the ref didn't give you a card for diving, can give you a match or 2-match or 3-match ban for that. So I think Aubameyang went down very light. He wasn't touched, or at least in my opinion, was not touched, or very lightly, went down and was given a PK unfairly. So the PK goes, but then he takes the PK, and Vertonghen was clearly offsides. So I guess it's a little bit give and take. Like you said, that's the luck versus the unluck. Were Arsenal granted a lucky PK? Absolutely. Was Vertonghen offsides when he took the PK? Absolutely. So it's a little bit back and forth.
Yeah, I think
Lloris definitely, sorry to cut you off, Lloris definitely saved us by, that was an incredible save. He did not look confident taking it.
But then again, Vertonghen was the first one to clear it out.
Yes.
So, I mean, with VAR,
yeah,
that's definitely a retake, because if
he was offsides before
he's offside and he's the first one to the ball to clear it, then obviously there's an advantage being played. So,
like I said, I think I would have loved Tottenham to win. I think 1-1's a fair result. I know both managers kind of both said, like, oh, we played better, blah, blah, blah. We were unlucky. I really think 1-1's a fair result, Arsenal against Tottenham. I wouldn't say either team played spectacularly. I wouldn't say either team was awful. But definitely, if Tottenham had lost, would have definitely made the top 4 race very, very interesting. I know we did United a favor. We did ourselves a favor in turn as well. I'm hoping United can return the favor and beat them.
I'm hoping. It's a huge match. This is a really, really important match for us.
Really tough time in the season. So I guess we'll see.
When's that stadium being built?
It's already built. No, so with us advancing, so I guess now we'll flip back over to the Champions League. I was very nervous going into Dortmund. I was like, we are going to bottle it like PSG. I know we played before PSG on Tuesday, but I was like, I saw things Dortmund posting, like Dortmund's come back from being down 2-0 and they won 3-0 against, I think it was Schalke. I forget who they were playing in the Champions League, but they came back to win 3-2. Oh, it was against Man City. That's who it was. They came back to win 3-2 against Man City, I think. It was back in 2012, 2013. It was when Bayern beat them in the final. So it was back then.
Yeah.
But so they were saying, like, oh, we've come back to win when we were losing down 2. But the Champions League game, it was complete opposite of the way Spurs play. We normally have 70% possession, a ton of shots, a bunch on target. It was like role reversal. Like Dortmund had 25 shots, 7 on target. They had 70% possession to our 30, but we had 12 shots and I think 4 on target, and one of them was a goal. So, I mean, Lloris defended amazing. Sanchez was throwing his body in the line. Alderweireld, Vertonghen. It was a very much a defensive game, but we were up 3-0. So, I mean, we really didn't have to go and get another goal. We had to just defend.
You fielded a good team, right?
We did. We did.
Your fullest potential.
The fullest potential. Harry Winks got injured, so that's definitely another knock against us. But yeah, no, full team. And Dele Alli's been injured aside from all that. Yeah. Eric Dyer got some minutes when Winks got injured. But all in all, great result. We're on to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, it's a scary thought going to Dortmund. Like, I feel like they easily could have came back. And it's funny because United, I think, had the same percentage, 30 to PSG 70. But the thing is, they didn't put out a killing squad.
What?
PSG.
Oh no,
they should not have started Buffon.
No.
I don't think he's their main keeper.
He goes back and forth between him and I think Areola.
Yeah, I think they play Areola for the league, and that's their main keeper. They probably do the switch that they'll give Buffon the Champions League and so on. And I don't know. I feel like they could have probably fielded a better team, and really, I feel like they got comfortable with the 2-0, and they're like, yeah, they're not going to come back at home
And Mbappe, there was before the game, I know Ale was saying it's not mission impossible. We can definitely come back. We can definitely win.
Belief. And
then Mbappe even said he was really upset about the goal that De Gea saved when he went to chip him. They could have made a 3-0 at Old Trafford. Remember, he was in on goal.
Yeah,
and he went to try and chip De Gea, and he kind of just plucked it out of the air. And he was saying oh, that's a missed opportunity. I really hope it doesn't come back to bite us. And quite literally, look at what happened.
He didn't. I feel like he went a little missing this game, and which is scary because he still had. I feel like he was still making chances.
Oh yeah.
God, I have a feeling, maybe not this year. I want to see him in Spain. I don't know. I feel like that is something that Madrid need to really get back into it after losing Ronaldo, and I think they will splash the cash for it.
Yeah.
I mean, he went for 180 from Monaco to PSG. I can only imagine. And he's, 19 or something?
He's just turned 20. Jesus. He won the World Cup at 19, though.
So you're looking at a 20-year-old who won the World Cup, countless Ligue 1 trophies. He's won
Ligue 1 with Monaco, which was not good as the PSG side, and then he's won the PSG side. That whole starting 11 of Monaco has now moved for Monaco, too, which is ironic. That whole starting line. Fabinho's on Liverpool. Lemar is on Atletico Madrid. Mbappe is on PSG. Falcao is now on Atletico Madrid as well. I think he returned there. He's somewhere in Spain. So that whole team is all broken up.
They're doing good business over there, but I don't know. I feel like they're kind of depleted of all their good players, and then in time they'll probably create more superstars. But I feel like Mbappe either stays at PSG, which I don't know if he would. I feel like he'd get bored. He's so young, and I think he'll eventually want to move forward to the highest bidder, which I do think is probably going to be Madrid, because they look not great.
No, and that's even kind of segueing to our next point. So I mean, Ajax gets one over on Madrid. This seems like this week
incredible
was either the underdogs upsetting or people down winning. Tottenham not screwing up and advancing. No, it was just crazy. I mean, like you said, kind of like with the overhaul at Madrid, I really think there was actually a poll on ESPN FC. I'm not sponsored. I keep saying this. If they want to sponsor me, I'm down. But there was a poll, and it was going through all of Madrid's roster, and it was kind of like, do they stay or should they sell them? And it was like, some really good ones were brought up. Bale, should he stay or should he go?
I think he wants to stay. He should go, but no one's going to pay his wages.
Yeah, Marcelo, should he stay or should he go?
He's probably off to Juventus.
Okay.
That's what he wants to do.
Sergio Ramos, he had a bust up with Perez because Perez said he wants to bring Mourinho back. So that was a funny thing. News broke today that they're 100% confident, or Mourinho said he would be willing to go back to Madrid, and they said that they were thinking that Mourinho's their guy, which I love, because if Ole gets United and Madrid get Mourinho, Pochettino is staying at Tottenham.
I don't know. I feel like it's almost desperate from Madrid.
Yeah.
Like, to be fair, Jose had really good results at Chelsea when he went back, and he was really good at Madrid. I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those things that we'll have to see, like, how it plays out.
I think it's just like,
he'd probably do well there. I mean,
with him going back, it's like getting back with your ex. You know how it ends. It's gonna end regardless.
He'll probably have a really good first season, maybe a second season, and then get fired in the third.
Yeah, I mean, that's been the trend his whole life.
It's been the trend, so I don't know. If I was Madrid, I'd probably look for somebody else, like Pochettino.
Yeah, I'm scared to say that, but I know the reality.
But I don't know. They haven't been too lucky with their managers either.
Yeah, Ajax has been awesome, though.
Did they sack Zidane?
No, Zidane left. He was there for 2.5 years. They hired him in January.
Way to go out on top.
Yeah, no, he literally said, he's like, it's going to take an overhaul, or he's like, he quit like 4 days after winning the Champions League for the third time in a row, and was just like, I've done all I can do, I'm out. Best decision he ever made.
Best decision.
Then they hired, I'm going to butcher his name. Lopetegui, because he was Spain's manager. I feel horrible for him. He was going to take Spain to the World Cup. He announces, like, 2 weeks before going to Spain, like, with Spain to the World Cup, like, hey, by the way, I took the Madrid job, and Spain Federation...
He screwed me.
Really?
Yes.
Because I heard this deal.
Tom, I still owe you that jersey. I'm very aware. So I had a bet with my college roommate of...
you made this a year ago, or 2 years ago.
It was so long ago. That Spain and or Germany would go farther in the World Cup than Belgium.
Well,
it's not a bad bet. I mean, Germany, World Cup winners. Spain have always had a decently solid team. They crashed and burned, and...
Germany went out in the group stage.
Come on.
And then Spain got embarrassed.
Their manager said, later, I'm out. I'm going to go manage a club team. And
then the Spain Federation fired him. Yes. He goes to Madrid. He makes it to October. They fire him, and then now they have Solari, and they're calling for his head today. So he might be fired by the day end tomorrow or whenever.
I don't know who they get, but good luck to them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really follow it, so.
No, but Ajax looked great. I don't know if you got to watch the game or the highlights.
I saw that free kick from...
Oh, my gosh.
I don't know his name, but I don't know if that was a cross or a free kick, or it was on goal.
Zytek or something? Is that
I don't know.
Zytem or what? I forget his name. Yeah, but that free kick was awesome.
I don't know. Was it a free kick or was it a cross?
I think he was shooting on net.
Whatever it was, it worked. So
yeah, they embarrassed Madrid. They embarrassed Madrid, but
that was a great upset over them. I think United had a fantastic upset over them.
Tottenham didn't botch it against Dortmund, which I thought
Which
we were.
leads to a very interesting kind of Champions League. So the top dogs, I would say, are City
And Barcelona.
and Barca. Bayern?
No. I think Liverpool is
Maybe.
going to beat Bayern. I think Liverpool's a younger squad. Bayern's dealing with an aged Ribery
They're
and
not even
Robben.
top of the league.
No, they're not.
Dortmund is,
Dortmund
right?
is. So it's going to be very interesting. And I know there was some stat. I think in the last 25. I don't. I'm going to look it up after the video and I'll put it in. But I think in the last 25 years or 20 years, it's either Barcelona, Real Madrid. Sorry about that, guys. Either Barcelona, Real Madrid, or Bayern Munich have been in the semifinals for the last 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Madrid's out. Bayern could lose to Liverpool, and then Barcelona. I forget who they're playing. They're playing. Who are they playing? I'm drawing a blank now.
They're playing someone easier that they should beat.
They drew in the first round. Lyon. They're playing Lyon. Olympic Lyon.
That's a...
So, I mean, they drew 0-0 at
Lyon.
Camp Nou. But yeah, now Liverpool is going to Germany for the next set of
And
games.
Juventus, Madrid, Atletico. So that's a big dog that's not going to go through.
Yeah.
And Man City play Schalke, so City's going to win. I hope that City lose, because if they don't, I feel like they have a really good chance of going on to win
All four.
the treble. And I don't want that.
Not even the treble, the quadruple.
The quadruple, yeah, they're in everything.
They just won the EFL
Oh
Cup.
my god, I would be so sad.
Yeah.
I'd be very upset if they ended up winning all of that. Alright, so anyway.
Moving on. And then I guess the last upset, Porto against Roma. I would have said Roma would have taken this game. And
Porto
once
is
again, it just, the underdog came up and ended up winning the game. Crazy.
So it kind of like leaves me in a weird spot where I think this Champions League has a lot of they've all been crazy games, but I think it's a really fair matchup now to who goes through. Like, if I'm United, I would love to have Porto. They're nowhere near the caliber as like Madrid or Barcelona or anything like that, and I think that kind of concept applies to Ajax or who else is in it? Like Tottenham, I would almost feel comfortable facing. I feel like it's not as stacked as it's been in previous years. I feel like at this point in time, you've had all like the top two teams of every league still involved, and every game is like going to be kind of weary on how you're going to perform. But I don't know. I like the matchups of so far the results. So hopefully we can like score the next round up against.
I don't know. I'd be scared to face Ajax. If I could pick any team, obviously if Schalke beats City, I'd rather play them.
But how
or
consistent are Ajax though? They had a really good game. I don't know. It was a lot of.
They should have drew Madrid when they first played them. Mm-hmm. It was 2-1. Sorry for the ambulance and fire truck and all that. I live on a busy road, but no, I think Ajax had a goal ripped away from them when they claimed Courtois was like blocked or fouled, or I think it was obstruction when the one dude headed the ball in, and I think it was ridiculous. It should have been 2-2 in.
Like, our Ajax, I don't know why I keep on using Ajax as an example, but are Porto consistent enough to make it far into the Champions League?
I don't know.
And I feel like the same thing goes for Ajax. Like, they played amazing against Madrid, but I mean, I feel like you could look at other results where they've lost easier games.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, was it a stroke of luck? Probably not, because I feel like they deserve to go through, especially going to the Bernabeu and winning. But I don't know. I like the chances of potential matchups. I just hope it's not like Barca or anybody like that. But who knows? I mean, at this stage, I mean, every team is fighting for the semifinals, so it should be really interesting. I'm excited to see how.
I mean, once you get to this stage in the competition, there's no team you really want to play. It's kind of like who you want to play. Like, it's basically
but like on paper, who would you rather face? Ajax, or like Porto or PSG?
Oh yeah, I'd rather face
Porto.
Ajax or Porto. Yeah,
but who knows? I mean, should be interesting.
Yeah, so I guess we're getting into other results. So I kind of go through these quickly. Man City keep rolling that 1-0 win against Bournemouth, keeping up the title race.
Wait, did you see how many shots they had on target?
I don't know.
I I was watching a program, and sorry, I need to pull this up because I kind of like thought it was interesting. Although the scoreline didn't reflect it, the shot count for that game was, I don't know, I think they had like 20 shots against Bournemouth. So props to Bournemouth for saving that many.
20 shots on target?
Yeah. Or maybe not on target. I don't know.
That seems like a lot.
It was a lot.
Well, so the City's still in the lead.
Regardless, I don't know. I feel like they're going to win it.
You're not going to be happy if it's Liverpool or City.
It's a lose-lose. If we make top... I'm just focused on top 4.
Top 4.
Top 3, possibly.
You can win the Champions League and then you don't have to come top 4. That'd be wild, too.
I would lose my shit.
Batshuayi for Crystal Palace keeps on going. You made that prediction when we first started this.
I like him as a player. I hope he stays. I don't know.
One of the other Chelsea loaned players. Even I looked at Morata. They didn't even sell Morata to Atletico. He's just loaned out.
Is he on loan?
He's on loan to Atletico Madrid.
That's why I don't like Chelsea.
They got that 2 transfer window ban too.
Why?
Something to do with youth players. They were signing youth players like at 14 or 13 or something like that.
Good luck,
so
sorry.
They're going to lose Hazard. They're going to lose players, and then they're not going to be able to sign anyone for 2 windows.
Hazard's gone. I feel like.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe he stays, but I doubt it.
Yeah. So and then kind of even getting back to Madrid and how they did awful. I think so. Even going back to the list of who stays and who goes, I think they're going to try and get Hazard. I think they're going to try and get Mbappe. They might try and go after Salah. I don't think he'll leave. Harry Kane, they might try and go after. I don't know if he'll leave.
I don't know.
Mbappe and Hazard would be the 2, or maybe even after Neymar. I don't know.
I would say Neymar goes before Mbappe. I think Mbappe stays for a while. I feel like he's just too expensive. Well, Neymar's expensive too, but I feel like Mbappe can still develop at PSG. But I don't think Kane goes. I don't think Kane leaves Spurs.
Yeah, I
think
so.
He stays.
Eriksen might go to Madrid too. That was another name that was rumored to go. Christian Eriksen.
That'd be good. You would get a lot of money for him.
We would,
and I feel like you can do some work. But yeah, I don't know if Kane necessarily leaves England. I mean, he barely speaks English as is. He can't pick up Spanish. Try understanding that with his accent.
Yeah,
or less. But I don't know. It should be an interesting off season for them and who they pick up.
Yeah, there was a few memes that I saw the weekend that were funny. One was from today or yesterday. One was of Ole picking up a beer bottle and drinking it like Di Maria did in the first leg. Another one was kind of sad. It was Buffon and he's walking past the Champions League rug. And I'm not a Juventus fan, as you can see the AC Milan flag over there. But I do love Italy's my national team with my heritage, and it was sad to see probably one of the world's best keepers to ever play the game. I won't say he's the best because I know there's some contention of who it is, but one of the best, and at least my favorite, to have him get every trophy but the Champions League. And he said he's retiring at the end of this year, so it's pretty much done deal.
Did he win a World Cup?
Yeah, he won a World 26 or not 20.
He has a lot.
2006. So yeah.
But he's getting up there. He's
41, 42, something.
Like what happens if you bench him for that Champions League game? They probably win.
I don't know. The penalty wasn't his fault though, but
it wasn't his fault. But the drop ball that Rashford took from pretty far out and Lukaku to score it, could make the difference. Too late.
Going on to other news, so Yogi Löw has decided to axe Hummels, Boateng, and Muller and said they're never playing for the German national team.
He said never?
Never again. He literally flew to Munich and met with them at Bayern and said,
You're out.
You're out. And it was funny because I was reading the players' recaps. Obviously, they weren't thrilled, but they listened to him, they respect him, and they said they understand the decision. So they weren't kicking and screaming. They didn't call them out. They said they're always going to be supporting Germany. But it was definitely very interesting.
I saw Mueller post something on Instagram. I think it probably was about that.
So, yeah.
I understand. Boateng's getting up there in age. So is Hummels.
They're all under 30.
They're under 30?
All of them are 29, I think.
I don't know. I haven't seen their updated roster, but I feel like they'll make way for youth players and they'll be okay.
Yeah.
I like Mueller. I wish he came to United, but Hummels was pretty close too. I don't know. I think it's a good move. I really like seeing younger players get the start. I think it's all about a good balance too of youth and veteran players. So
I just thought it was interesting because I thought he should have kept at least one, if not two of the three, to try and just be the leaders or the veterans on the team.
I mean, these are the World Cup winners that are those three. I don't know how many else in the squad right now.
Schürrle and Götze didn't even make the squad for 2018. Per Mertesacker is either retired or no longer in the squad as well. So I don't know how many. Klose retired, obviously. Yeah. So I don't know how many people in the squad still have won the medal. And there was even talks of Neuer potentially not even getting the call back. So either I think Leno would either be their backup or Ter Stegen.
Ter Stegen. Yeah, Leno had that amazing save against Tottenham.
Yeah. So I guess they're moving on.
It's okay. I support it.
Next, Ranieri getting sacked by Fulham.
You hate to see it.
You hate to see
You
it?
hate to see it.
I honestly thought not that he should have retired after the Leicester. I guess he's not that old. But now there's even rumors that Madrid were... maybe not Madrid. No, maybe. I forget who it was. No, Roma just sacked their manager after losing to Porto. They were thinking of bringing Claudio Ranieri over to Roma. So that could be an interesting signing.
It sucks for him, but I don't know. What do you do if you're Fulham? I mean...
Yeah.
You're getting relegated.
We already called it. You can see video 1. We called it getting relegated.
I think he's probably not happy about getting sacked, but
understandable.
It is what it is.
I guess last little bit of news. Brendan Rodgers hired from Celtic to Leicester, and the comments he said were so funny. After being there for less than 24 hours, saying he would give his life for the club. I think the banter, even of the Celtic fans saying you could have been a legend, but now you went to a club that's going to win you nothing.
Did you hear they robbed his house? In Ireland?
In Scotland.
Is it Scotland?
Ireland? Scotland?
I think it's Ireland.
Ireland, yeah.
No, they robbed his house. So, you also hate to see it. Real bad.
That is
funny. I don't know. Liverpool guy. Yeah, I'm okay.
All right, so I guess we'll get to the last part of the episode, as usual. Results and scorelines for Week 30.
Let's do
I'll
it.
pull up the...
I wasn't too hot last week, or the first episode.
Yeah, we were both 4 for 4, and then 0 and 8 on actually getting the scorelines right. But that's difficult because you need to get the result right. Kwame and I were much better. I was 6 and 4, and then I think 3 and 7. So yeah.
All right, let's do it. Fire them off.
Fire them off. Are we just gonna go speed round on these? Not even explain them. We'll go speed round.
Sure. Let's do it.
Okay.
All right.
Everton at Newcastle.
Everton win. 2-1.
2-1?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going that one as well. 2-1 Everton.
Love it.
Tottenham at Southampton.
Tottenham win. Easy. 3-0.
Tottenham win. I'm going not as confident. 2-0. Watford at Man City.
Oh, God. Man City. I feel like that's going to be a bloodbath.
They've only won
4-1.
1-0. Well, okay. They've only won 1-0 the last 2 times. I'm going to go 2-1 Man City.
Okay.
Brighton at Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace 1-0.
I'm going Crystal Palace 4-0.
Okay.
West Ham at Cardiff.
West Ham 1-0.
West Ham, I'm going 1-0 as well. Bournemouth at Huddersfield.
Bournemouth 3-0.
I'm going Bournemouth 3-0 as well.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I was really
Let's
thinking.
Let's go Bournemouth.
Fulham at Leicester City.
Leicester.
Okay.
2-1.
I'm gonna go Leicester. No, I'm gonna go draw. I'm gonna go 1-1 on this one. 1-1.
Okay.
Leicester.
I think Rodgers is gonna have a impact like his new. He's gonna go for that win.
Burnley at Liverpool.
Liverpool. Burnley at Liverpool.
Burnley at Liverpool.
2-0 Liverpool.
I'm gonna go 2-0 Liverpool as well.
I don't know.
You got a lot of the same picks this week.
I know.
Wolves at Chelsea.
Draw. 2-2.
I'm going Wolves 1-0.
Ooh, I like the Wolves.
I do.
It's like the Portugal
B-side.
B team.
We called it. We keep saying
I
it.
like them.
And last but not least, Manchester United at Arsenal.
At Arsenal, I hope my boy's back, Jay Lings, to do it again at the Emirates. I'm feeling really confident. I'm going United. Clean 2-0 win.
I'm gonna go United, but I'm gonna calling my shot early. It's gonna be 4-1. Arsenal's gonna score in like the 6th minute off some mess up.
I hope.
And then the rest of the game is gonna be Lacazette standing at the halfway line, looking back as they get scored on multiple times.
So you got to realize who's on our.
I'm backtracking.
On our injured list, we have
2-1 Man United.
You realize we have 9 players on our first team who are now injured.
I'm going 2-1 United. I changed it. I backed off on it.
Okay.
Still calling Arsenal scoring first, though.
We'll see. All right, I need to beat 4. I need to get more than 4 right. All right, I feel like it's doable.
All right, guys. Great hanging with you this week. Do it again. I'm gonna be gone for 2 weeks, so it's gonna be some time. But I'm gonna put a bunch of videos all together. So I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one.
See ya.